leave at the first red flag. So many of these little story times that I see on TikTok or Twitter where they're like, oh, this is bad, this is what happened. It's like, at least like for me on my path where I am, it's like I can literally see, like, because they'll post the text and it's like I can literally see the point in which they should have stopped responding, or like should have cut them off here. Like there was one recent one I saw on Twitter where this girl like was talking about how cheap this guy was being on a date. I forget the main like point of the story, but it was like, oh, this guy asked me to hang out, so we were gonna go to this like hookah spot or something, but then at the last minute he was like, oh, like, can you just come here and we can just do hookah at my house? And like she went but then he like wanted her to like order food off her phone, and it's like, bro, I think finally she ended up like leaving, but it's like once you become aware of like what certain shit means, like, oh, they're changing the plan at the last minute to like you coming over, they're just like trying to see if you're gonna say yes, you know? So my advice to all the girlies out there, do not worry about being polite. This is like also a realization I had recently, not me saying, oh, last thought, but I guess that's just how this goes. There's a difference. I feel, okay, this is something I learned this year in my setting boundaries journey, putting myself first, putting my own needs first, speaking up for my own needs, saying no journey. There's a difference between like being overly polite, being actually rude, and then just like being firm in your boundary. Because sometimes, especially when you're kind of new at it, you're just kind of starting to practice, you know, saying no. Maybe you always say yes. Maybe you deal with like, maybe you constantly like people please. And I just feel like, especially like as women dating men, a lot of the times, you know, we're just super polite because it's just like a safety thing. Like it depends, you know. And not even just that, but like that's just kind of how a lot of us have been trained. Like, you want to be a lady, you want to be polite, like you don't want to be a bitch. Not everyone, but you know, I feel like a lot of women experience that. So it can feel like you're being really rude if you're like, I'm not comfortable with that. But I just want to tell you, like, being rude would be like, no, you broke. Okay, let's use this example. Like when he said, oh, can we just actually, like, can you just come over actually? And we can do hookah at my house. She was probably trying to be polite and was like, oh, like probably trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe he, like, I don't know. Maybe money's an issue, or like, oh, like maybe he just would rather do this. Like, okay, I guess, like, I don't really mind. No. Being rude would have been like, no, you broke ass dumb bitch. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like adding extra shit. Like both being overly nice and polite and being rude or like mean or whatever, it's both like adding shit. But like if you're just being direct and communicating, like, she could have just been like, I'm not comfortable with that. I would rather go out. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I won't waste your time. Or like something to that effect. And that may feel rude. Someone may even take that as like you're being rude, or, oh, she's so high maintenance. But like, you're not. Like, high maintenance is not that. That's like being pretty normal. So I just want to let all of you know, because I know we all deal with this. If you don't, good for you. But we can work on it. And then you don't have to be, it's just like when you spot red flags, then you don't have to deal with the consequences of the red flags. Because like, if she had said no immediately at the first sign of like, oh, he's being cheap, or just wants me to come over, or just wants to hook up, whatever, like, if you say no right away, then you're not going to have to say no later, or be in a situation later where he's looking to you to pay, or like asking you to go half, or like tries to initiate hooking up and you're not okay with any of that, you know? So say no at the first red flag. Stick up for yourself. If you're uncomfortable, listen to that feeling, because nothing is ever going to come good. Nothing good is ever going to come out of like you being polite. Just like because you're kind of too uncomfortable to like say no or like speak up for what you need. Just want to say,